Dogs and humans have a truly amazing bond. Astonishing abilities, companionship, and utter loyalty make dogs our best friends. In this series, we investigate the surprising science behind these impressive beings. From rescue dogs, to fire dogs, to the dog next door. What makes dogs so extraordinary? In Crucial Hearing, we examine the extraordinary hearing capabilities of dogs. A dog's power of hearing is far superior to humans. We've all seen them prick up their ears at sounds that we seem unable to detect. A dog's superhearing can help humans in remarkable ways. We meet Bingo, who has the ability to save the life of 10-year-old Cole when he stops breathing.
He had gone blue on me. I forgot the nurses' names and I was just yelling, "Hello, hello!"
We'll understand how dogs' hearing actually works when we get to know Shelon and Traegar.
A dog's directional hearing is very different to that of humans.
And we meet Amos, who gives his deaf owner a reason to live.
It's just his love, joy. He fulfilled that side of me, which would be very, very empty.
This is Extraordinary Dogs. Manitoba, Canada. The vast prairie land stretches as far as the eye can see. 5 years ago, this was to become home to a clever little Jack Russell Terrier called Bingo, who would transform the life of a young boy. Danielle Forbes is the Executive Director of National Service Dogs, a Canadian charity training dogs to help people with special needs. Today, she's making a 2,000-kilometre round trip from her home in Toronto to visit Bingo. Originally her own pet dog, she hasn't seen her for 5 years.
I think she's going to be really happy to see me. She's your typical Jack Russell with the greetings, and she's got a wicked tongue. If you're not careful, it goes right up your nose. Yeah, she's very cute, and I think she'll remember.
Bingo's greeting is exactly as expected.
Yeah, he's a good girl.
In 2004, Danielle was called by Mandy Hine, and Bingo's life was about to change. Desperate for help, Mandy hoped Danielle would be able to train a dog to save her young son's life. 10 years ago, Mandy Hine had given birth to twin boys, Cole and Eric, 3 months early.
Hey, sweetheart.
As is common with premature babies, both boys suffered with apnea, a temporary inability to breathe.
And I remember the first time I breastfed him, he had gone blue on me. He had stopped breathing, and I freaked out so much. I forgot the nurses' names, and I was just yelling, "Hello, hello!"
Unlike other premature babies, Cole did not outgrow the apnea. His life-threatening condition causes him to gag and stop breathing with little to no warning.
I averaged on 4 hours of sleep a night. A typical 24 hours with Cole is someone would sit beside him if he was sleeping to watch him breathe. If he was playing in a saucer, someone was there to watch him play. When they started walking, that person had to follow him around in case he stopped breathing.
Told by experts that there was no cure for Cole's condition and suffering from exhaustion, Mandy turned to Danielle for help.
Her question to me was, could a dog be trained to alert her to when he's having these episodes? And my answer to that was, if you can isolate the sound, and we can create some type of a tape or a CD that I could train the dog to, that yes, absolutely, a dog could be trained for those purposes.
For such a unique situation, Danielle had to decide what type of dog would be best equipped to be trained.
Bingo was a former hearing dog. We had trained her up to be a demo dog for our hearing program at National Service Dogs. And she just had the right temperament, the right energy.
Bingo flew to Winnipeg with Danielle to see if there was a connection between the boy and Bingo.
She had a chance to meet Cole, to run around with the kids and get acclimated to the house. And it was a really good fit right from day one. So it was fairly easy after that to get the ball rolling and start the actual skills training specific to Cole's situation.
The challenge for Danielle was how to train Bingo to carry out life-saving work.
They were having issues at night, especially the breathing apparatus that he was hooked up to. As a young child, he moved around too much, and he would often pull the mask off, and it would set off false alarms.
The chosen dog had to be able to react to the sound of Cole's episodes and warn his parents. But how is a dog able to provide a sense of security where baby monitors and nurse aides failed?
Well, a dog's hearing is superior even when they sleep because the dog's ear can pick up sounds that are simply inaudible to the human ear. So they can become accustomed to hearing sounds and reacting to those sounds, which we are simply unaware are taking place.
I wanted her to only bark when Cole was in trouble. So we had to actually train her to bark on command. And the way we started that was to get her just to do it with a hand signal. So I would flick my finger and she would start to bark. And we would give her a treat. We used lots of positive reward. Then we brought in an audio tape I had of one of Cole's episodes. And then it became a matter of linking the hand signal to the sound of Cole's episode that I had on a CD disc.
After weeks of intensive training, Bingo learnt to bark whenever Cole had an episode.
When she was being trained, it was very important to make this a game. We spent a lot of time getting her really happy and excited and running around while we were doing this training so that for her it's a very positive playtime experience and not as stressful as it is for the rest of the family.
The question everyone needed answering was, would Bingo be able to take on the role of alerting Cole's parents when he suffered an episode for real in the dead of night?
Mandy and I were both home and we were both asleep. The boys were playing and doing their thing, and then Cole, I guess he had an episode and Bingo was with him and she began barking. And that woke me up and that built my trust right there. 100%. I had no doubts at that point.
Incredibly, the training worked. Having spent years trying to find a cure for Cole's condition, the family can now live a relatively normal life.
You're always on a slight edge, wondering if this is going to be your last night with the son. Are you gonna sleep through it? Are you gonna miss something? Is he not going to be able to pull through from his apnea? Like we just don't know. But once it worked with Bingo, that was it. That was all I needed to start living my life again.
So why did a Jack Russell Terrier take to the task so well? Traditionally used in the countryside, the Jack Russell is a high-energy breed which requires high levels of exercise and stimulation. Primarily a working dog, the breed is tough and tenacious. When given tasks and jobs to do, a Jack Russell takes to them with total commitment, in the way Bingo did with Cole's condition. In this case, however, Danielle is convinced the perfect match came down to Bingo's personality.
In choosing this dog for the family, it wasn't about the fact that she was a Jack Russell or not. It was the fact that she was just the right dog at the right time and for the right family. And it was that particular dog's personality.
She's part of the family. She's like one of our children. When he's sick and he's in my bed and he's retching, he knows that I'm there, but he doesn't look at me. He looks at her. So she's gone from service dog to kind of therapeutic dog at the same time. He knows that mom's there, but if Bingo's there, he's that much better.
To see a dog that actually has saved a life and has potentially meant the difference to a child between life and death, I mean, there's no words to describe how good that feels.
Coming up in part 2, we'll discover how dogs' hearing actually works when we meet Shalon and Traeger at the training center in California. And we'll meet Amos, who gives his deaf owner the confidence to live independently.